of all, let's look at a Roth IRA alternative. So this paperwork compares IUL versus a Roth IRA. So it actually shows what is the 2025 maximum contribution and 50 and above. Well, I should put 50, but anyway. Okay, and all this paper, all this income limit requirements, right? And then from here, you actually have a left and right comparison. So number one, tax-free accumulation. Roth IRA, yes, and also cash value life insurance. Tax-free distribution, both, right? That benefit protection, definitely a Roth IRA cannot give you, but a life insurance policy can give you. True? I started with $500,000 policy protection, right? Require minimum distribution, the RMD. Oh, Roth IRA, no too, okay? But IRA, yes, okay? Traditional, okay? And it's a no. Oh, wait. All the 401k, all the qualified money, right? Contribution based on your income. Roth IRA, yes, but cash value life insurance, no. But of course, depends on if you can get qualified, right? Transamerica just raised the face amount for, I believe it's 40, I forgot, 50, 40 years old? 40 times of your income. It's new. Earning limit to participant. Yes. IUL, it's not exactly a no, but pretty much harder to calculate because you can start with low, right? But you can do a 7-pay, right? You can put more money. So fees, if you do a direct IRA in the market, there's investment fees. Because we are talking about IUL, so we're talking about comparing with S&P 500, right? With the indexes, correct? So then if you invest your IRA in indexes, yes, there's a fees. But for IUL, yes, there's a life policy charges. So you can show this to the client, right? So it's not like something you say, it's something that compliance approved that you can use. And here you go. And it gives, again, talks about why a IUL can compare to can be used as a Roth IRA alternative. Because it gives actually maximizing your contribution, right? And all this, right? So you see here, it's a highlight of life insurance protection, tax defer and growth potential. That's exactly like a Roth IRA, and tax-free supplemental income, isn't it? And keep going. Here, policy, annual premium, right? And then age and $500,000 face amount. This one is what a Roth IRA cannot give. And then from there, we actually run an income from 66 to 85, which if you think about IRA in the market, you can either take it out, right? There's no such thing of slowly taking out, right? If you don't take it out, the rest of the money is still in the market, still participating, still there's a fee, still there's a possibility of losing money, right? So, and we illustrated at 7.25%. So here it gives you all the cash value, right? And then here it's what I put in 50 years old, 10 years from now, how much cash value potentially we can have, right? Of course, you can design, like, let's say based on the client's kid's age. For example, 40 years old, they're just having a kid. Then you talk about 20 years later, 18 years later, right? That's the money they can access for the kids' education, right? And then 66, they can access the money, but at the same time, they can leave it to the money to grow, right? And then at this age, because I run an income stream, that's why you see less at age 73. Okay? So you ready? So this 3 pages, compliance approved paperwork that you can just show it to the client. Instead of you keep talking, oh, you know what? Let me show you something. IUL is better than Roth IRA. And you know what people think? Oh, of course, right? You only sell life insurance and you only sell Transamerica, right? But then when you show this paperwork, it's no brainer. So here we go. So I put the number here, the money that we save, and I put a distribution of about 24,000 a year until age 85. So that's the money we take, and we don't live much of that benefit, right? So that's one. And then with the snapshot, you can also show very simple is that how much you put and how much you get, okay? And with the tax-free income of 24,431 a year for 20 years, right? Total tax-free income 488,620. Isn't it amazing? Very straightforward that you can show it to the client. Okay, now let's look at something that we already have in hand. It's the calculation. But going back here, at 61, the cash value, when we stop paying, right? Accessing the IRA, it's about 59.5, right? So let's say 61 years old, the cash value accessible, right? I mean, it's 90% of 259,000. So let's say 260,000. But of course, the reality is most people have an IRA, they don't touch the money yet, right? Either they wanted to grow. If it's a Roth, it's tax-free, it's fine, but it's a traditional, they don't want to touch until they are very low in income. That's a reality, right? So of course the money can still continue to grow, but let's go to the workshop calculator. I hope you guys use this. It's quite amazing. So let's say a saving goal is 260,000, starting with nothing. Annual, put it at the end of each period, because you know what? People normally wait until April to save an IRA, which they could start way earlier, right? They could start probably a year before in January 1st. But people don't do that. They always wait until their accountant tell them to do so, right? They do it. But anyway, so let's say put an average 5% return. I will show you why later, okay? So 20 years saving. So when you do the calculation, about $7,863 saving a year. With no fee, no so-called fee, okay? No life insurance, death benefit cost, okay? No cost of insurance. But still need to save $7,863 annually in order to have 260,000 20 years later. Anybody have any comments so far? Isn't most of the time we might think that, save the money in the IUL is way less than just directly investing in an IRA? But the truth is, it's not necessary. Because remember, with the IUL, we have the cap and we have the floor, right? But if you are directly investing in S&P or any indexes, you can grow potentially, you can have a high return, but then potentially you have a high risk as well, right? Does it make sense now?